This is a mock interview conducted by ForumIAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent academicians, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
Yeah, please come in.
Good morning.
Please sit down. Anupriya Chaudhary.
Yes.
What Anupriya means?
So Anupriya name stands for a beloved. So sir, I am very glad that I have also been given this status in the family. And coming from a patriarchal Rajasthan, I believe I'm very glad to not just be named that way, but also been given that status in the family.
So you feel emancipated.
Yes.
Huh? That's good. But tell me, since you raised this issue, why? I mean, in the condition of women in Rajasthan is of course not good, as you mentioned yourself. But the condition of women, the status of women has been changing from northeast to Rajasthan. It has been going down. What is the reason behind it?
So in Rajasthan, the condition, as you stated, is definitely not as good as we want it to be. But then the reasons are several. There are several reasons to it.
I'm saying about the northeast, how it is decreasing. The condition is becoming worse and worse when you go towards the west, from east to west.
So in Northeast, definitely it is true that there is, in some states, there is matrilineal system and matriarchy is practiced in some states. So definitely women are doing well there. But sir, in Rajasthan, the condition is not good because of the regional factors that are specific to Rajasthan. For example, historically, it has been a land of kings. So sons were preferred for fighting wars. That's why women were not as preferred as much, and hence people started practicing female feticide or infanticide. And so apart from that, the other reasons are also that Rajasthan is not as resource rich as other regions of the country. So that's why when it comes to resource distribution also, women are not preferred as similarly as men. And sir, also the societal permissiveness is also there, such that we do not fight as strongly for the evils that are still continuing as we should. And also, sir, it is also linked to the women themselves. They do not have that much literacy. That's why also.
So you said the feticide started because people wanted male child to fight wars. But don't you think feticide could be because of the dowry system? Oppressive dowry system?
Yes, sir. Dowry system is somehow also linked to the historical preference for son child as well. That's why the dowry system.
Because common man is not going to send his child for war.
Yes,
even
sir.
Common men have been following this particular practice of feticide, and I don't think they have any ambition of fighting wars. So when they are following it, that means it is not there could be reason, could be something else, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Sir, I would like to correct myself here also. Sir, the reason for this is mainly that women are not as much in the employability of women is not as high as of male gender. That's why also males are concerned.
Or is it there is a theory of Sanskritization that people follow the rulers. So since rulers' women were in parda, even common man started putting the women in parda, and they did not come out, so they could not develop. They kept on getting suppressed. They kept on tolerating. Do you think it could be because of that also?
Yes, sir. So the penetration from the top to bottom has also happened in the sense that the practices of the Rajputi clan have been practiced in the other communities also, and that is also one reason for this.
That could be one reason.
Yes.
Okay, just one more issue. Afghanistan has banned its girls to go to school. And we have been really helping them in many ways. We have given thousands of tons of wheat. We have invested a lot of money in their development. The dams we have made their electrical lines and so on and so forth. In their parliament we have built. Do you think we should keep on supporting these fellows? We say that women are the goddess. Yatte naryastu pujante ramante tatra devata, we say it. And if these fellows are treating women like this, do you think we should have relations with them?
No, sir. Sir, our support to them is primarily based on their goodwill and the fact that they have said that they wouldn't be the Taliban that they were initially, and it's still even the international support which India aligns with is still based on that same approach that Taliban will definitely reform its women policies.
So what could we do? What can we do?
So we can definitely build international pressure upon Taliban, but it has to be done collectively and not just...
No, we have relations with them. We have been helping them. We can talk ourselves to them.
Yes, sir. We have definitely been extending developmental aid to them. But sir, one country I think will not be able to make as much big an impact as the international community together.
They're not really following their religion. So we have got a lot of religious people in India. Who may have a say among the clergy there also. Don't think we should use their services to convince people that 50% of the population is going to be deprived and they will always be backward and that it is not Islamic practice that they are practicing? You think we should use these kind of forces that we have at present in our country to help them?
Yes, sir. So definitely it is an excellent idea to go ahead with, because along with the expert diplomats, if the religious heads who are well known not just in India but across the world, if they also come together, then definitely more pressure can be built upon them. And not just pressure, I think social change can be brought in the mindset, change can be brought in the Talibanis with this approach that whatever they are going by is not the actual Islam.
Okay. Anupriya. Okay. So Anupriya, you have some interesting hobbies, right? Bhavai dance. So Bhavai dance, is it, has it originated in Rajasthan only?
Yes, sir. So it was started by the Bhil community itself.
Bhil community. And it is practiced in which part of Rajasthan?
So now it is practiced throughout the Rajasthan as per the cultural interest of the people. But to begin with, it started in southern Rajasthan and even the Bikaner Bardmer counterparts also.
What is special about the dance?
So it's not just a dance. I would say it's a spiritual and intellectual practice that is done by the people who are interested in it. In it, 15 to 16 or even 20 pictures are placed on head. They are balanced by the person performing the art. And along with that, we step onto broken glasses. Then we step onto edge of sword and also a rim of a thali. And other things.
Okay, so have you learnt it?
Yes, sir. So I was trained in it since I was like 4 years old.
So how many pictures can you place on your head?
I can place 17 to 18.
That's very impressive.
Thank you, sir.
Tell me something that various reports are showing that the educational attainments of women, they have been increasing at the level of post-graduation, PhD. But the female labor force participation, that is falling. We have reports, we have the PLFS report, we have some international reports also, that it is falling. So is there some issue with the estimation, or is it really the case that many women who are acquiring more degrees, they are not working? What do you understand of the issue?
So female labor force participation rate is definitely not as much as the education enrollment is rising. So the reason is that even after getting higher education, women should be provided with a complementary working environment as well. That is not provided to them, whether it's the safe spaces for their child. For example, child care places should be designated at the workplace itself, or even if it's their own safety at the workplace, that also is an issue. And apart from that, I believe after marriage also many women withdraw from the working places because their respective families do not permit that.
Okay. Is it also a case that we are not accounting for much of the informal sector in which many women are working? Let's say the domestic workers or the women who are working in villages in agricultural sector, right? So is it also a case that we are not counting them?
Yes, sir. So, not just these women, I believe there is fault in estimation even when it comes to women who are doing the domestic care. Even they are not included in the formal sector, hence they are not counted along as par with other women.
Okay, fine. So, Anupriya, you are a student of public administration, okay? The government has been trying to induct technical experts, right, at various levels in government, at the level of joint secretary, deputy secretary, and director. So, what do you think of this move? Should we have more technocrats in position so that, since the role of data is increasing, so that we can have specialized decision making? You are an engineer, so what do you understand about it?
So I believe lateral entry is definitely a good move at this point of time, but this cannot be a permanent solution going ahead, because lateral entry definitely is required because the current technical level of bureaucrats have been found not to be at par. That's why they have been inducted. But then I believe the bureaucrats themselves should be given training at private institutes, in the private sector also. For some amount of time they should be inducted there, so that they can gain all the technical skills which are required for them to be working at those levels.
Good. So Anupriya, recently government of Rajasthan, it has decided to carve out 19 new districts in the state, right? It is based on what assessment? Is it based on demands of people from some districts, or is it based on some administrative efficiency scenario that will be able to allocate resources more effectively? It is based on what assessment?
So it is based on a combination of factors, which is not just administrative, but also people's demands which were being made, that they want to be represented in the form of a district, so that they can get better representation even in terms of political strengthening. And it's not just that, also political factors the presence of the various MLAs from those areas also must have been factored in while granting district status to those new districts.
Okay, thank you.
So hi Anupriya, you're from Rajasthan. Yes. Patriarchal Rajasthan. So there are a lot of new initiatives coming up in Rajasthan. Like they have implemented old pension scheme. They have recently come up with the health bill, right to health bill. They have also implemented urban employment guarantee. So let's talk about these one by one. What is your take on old pension scheme versus new pension scheme?
So I'll read more about it and then only.
Recently, national government, union government formed a committee to look into the improvement for NPS. You haven't no clue about any? What is the difference between these two? Any clue?
Sir, in this, sir, I have ideas, but then, sir, informed decision I won't be able to take.
About right to health bill?
Yes, sir. So, right to health bill, recently Rajasthan government has decided upon it, but then several protests are going on with respect to this bill. So there are several reservations of the private hospitals and the private diagnostics.
Concerns later, like what is the bill about?
So the right to health bill is that whenever any citizen of Rajasthan, whenever any resident of Rajasthan goes for an emergency care, he should not have to wait for the finances, for arranging finances in order to get that emergency care. He should get it at every designated hospital of in the state. without any further ado, such that everybody is given care at affordable rates or even at free in the public hospitals.
So it is for private sector as well, private hospitals. So private doctors, those are the ones who are protesting.
So not just the private doctors, even the resident doctors working in the government hospitals are also protesting because they are also supporting this demand by the private hospitals.
So what is the reason? Like they have taken this oath themselves to take care of the citizens, to take care of the people who are ill. What is that oath called?
So hypocrisy, oath of hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy.
No, Hippocratic oath.
Good enough. So about that Hippocratic oath, so why are they against it? What is the issue?
So the reason is that because the emergency has definitely not been defined in the bill as clearly as it should have, and even how the private will be able to decide the level of emergency, that has also not been clearly stipulated in the bill.
Okay, that might be given by the rules. So, like for example, you are the policymaker for Rajasthan. What stance would you take, and how would you come out of this fix where people are protesting, where there is also welfare of citizens?
So for that, I think clear grounds should be stated in the bill itself, such that it's self-explanatory, such that what is exactly an emergency, so that under the garb of emergency, not every citizen wants to be covered as who is not even in an emergency, because if somebody's stomach is aching, even that can be called an emergency, but we will have to, only the diagnosis will tell whether it's an emergency or not. So for that, several grounds are there. For that, consultation should be done with all the doctors, and then maybe more clearly bill details can be formulated.
Okay, so let's imagine that you are all into sports as well, right? You have done badminton, you are into athletics. Imagine that you are the sports secretary of the union government, and you were to decide that there should be equal pay for all the sports person, men and women. So what would be your take or your analysis of it?
Equal pay for equal sports opportunities should be provided to women as soon as possible, and it is, I believe, for that initial incentive has been already given by BCCI in the cricket arena, where women are paid as equally as the men, and that has also been seen in women doing so much better in the international cricket, as we can see. Although I believe that the performance was not as great in the World Cup that was held recently, but then as we see in the Women Premier League, women have performed very well. So I think if that can happen in cricket field, it can happen in every other field if women are given equal pay.
So you are outright for equal pay?
Yes, sir.
But what about revenues? People do not go to watch their games, especially international games like tennis, etc. They have been asking for it in the progressive societies of the West. They have not given it yet.
Yes, sir. So revenues, definitely, I agree that they are not as high for example, if we take cricket, they are not as high for women's cricket as they are for men's cricket. But sir, a start has to be made, and if that is made from the end of administrators and the ones who hold the power position, I believe that then the situation can change in the form of viewers also.
So viewers see the pay and then come. Rather than providing them facility, we should give them income.
No, sir. Sir, my point was that if we give equal pay for both the genders, I believe that their performance will improve, and gradually in some years we will see that definitely with such a performance, people will be grabbed to their seats in the fields as well.
And then pay should be linked with the revenue.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Anupriya, tell me one similarity between studying public administration, performing Bhavai dance, and playing badminton.
So all three require concentration and focus.
Tell us something about Mrs. Krishna Vyastangani.
Yes, sir. So he was a great Bhavai proponent. He belonged to Jodhpur, and he greatly improved the visibility of the dance at not just the national level but also international level. So sir, he has also contributed to the Bhavai Lok Kala Sansthan that has been set up, so that this act, which has become rare because of the seeming difficulty that is involved, but then it does not just dwindle because of that thing.
What is birdie in badminton?
Birdie.
Huh?
So birdie is the shuttlecock that is used.
What's the difference between kill and smash?
So kill and smash. So smash actually is. So I think both are similar only.
No, both are not similar. There's a fine line difference. No issue. You see, in present times, Nepal has witnessed recent political developments. Please shed some light on that political developments and how it will impact India.
So we have seen a new prime minister in Nepal, and very recently a new president has also been there in
Are you
Nepal.
aware about the names of both?
So names I cannot recall.
Go ahead.
So a new president also we have seen in Nepal. So I believe that these will impact India in a positive way only, considering that our prime minister has very good relations with the new recent incumbents at those positions. So
Okay, no issue. You see, you have undertaken metallurgy. So tell us 3 recent developments in the field of metallurgy that India has seen.
So 3 recent developments are the new composite materials that are being developed in India. For example,
Is it being fully developed in India?
no sir, throughout the world.
What India has done differently in the field of metallurgy?
So India has a very great institution to its name, which is doing very good in the research of metallurgy in the form of.
What kind of research?
So research in the new materials that can
What
be.
are those new materials?
So superalloys are there.
What are those superalloys?
Sir, for example, nickel cobalt superalloy is built. It can work at a very high temperature, and it has also corrosion resistance added to it. So that their high temperature application is not flawed because of the resistance that can come. So
Other developments?
other developments are academic institutions and the
Proper in the core field of metallurgy.
so nanomaterials and composite materials. These are being developed by ISC Bangalore.
Okay, last question. How will you apply the learnings of metallurgy in governance?
So in governance, I believe metallurgical learnings can be applied such that the knowledge of new minerals and the new materials that are coming up, and not just those new materials, even the new processes of shaping and making those materials. For example, powder metallurgy. Powder metallurgy is a new process which has come up recently. These processes, I believe, can be used very well in the development of the new policies in these areas, such that the working of the government and the PSUs in these sectors can become cost efficient. It can become energy efficient. So in that sense, I believe metallurgy can be of great use.
But you have talked mostly about the metallurgical aspect. How the learnings of metallurgy will help in resolving the issues of vulnerable and marginalized sections?
So many vulnerable and marginalized sections work in these mines, as we know. In the Chota Nagpur region, we know many vulnerable sections. For example, the tribal sections are involved in these sectors, and also, for example, in the coal mining, we see that many people are suffering from health issues. With my better knowledge of metallurgy, I believe policies can be framed such that these issues can be included in the industrial regulations.
Yeah.